We live in a very distracted world right now. And this distraction creates a lot of confusion in everything personal. So how to get clarity in what I want to do and how I want to live and how to achieve the things that I want to achieve is one thing we'll be discussing today. But another type of clarity that I want to talk about is who I really am. And when I'm talking about who I really am, I'm not talking about me as a person, but really what is my true essence? Who am I prior to the body? Who am I prior to my self-image? The idea of what I take myself to be. This idea changes. One time it's this, another time it's that. Who am I truly? What am I truly? So those are the two types of clarity that we'll be focusing on in this video. And I'll be sharing with you 3 very simple tips that you can implement very practically that will help you gain clarity. The reason I even wanted to make this video is because I keep getting asked this question, Sunny, how to gain clarity? And so before we move on with the practical tips, I want you to first understand the way that you must approach this. You must understand that clarity is not something you can gain or add on to yourself. Clarity is not something that you get. Gaining clarity is actually a removal process. Think of clarity as just empty, natural, like the baseline. It's like the ground that you stand on. What blocks clarity or obscures clarity is the layers and layers and layers of distraction, of clouds. So think of clarity like the bright blue sky, ever present. Even in the midst of a storm, the bright blue sky still is. You can't see it. It no longer appears. It no longer is there for you to see, but it is always there behind the clouds. So just in the same way, take the same approach with finding clarity. To find clarity, you must remove that which obscures, covers up, blocks clarity. This is the distractions, right? Right now we live in a world where we're always occupied with something. The moment you get a little bit of time to yourself, you're still distracting yourself with a billion things. Of course, like the work in the world takes a lot of your attention and energy, other people, day-to-day tasks. But even when you do get time to yourself, it's just either watching TV or needing to occupy your attention with maybe your phone or doing some sort of activity always. So at the level of activity, we have this constant stimulation, constant gaining of information that is one layer. But then another layer is the constant thinking about what you're doing, the constant thinking about what happened, what will happen, interpreting what is currently happening. For example, right now, you may be very, very much interpreting what you're hearing in this video, if it will help you, if it will not help you, if you agree with this, if you don't agree with this, if this feels good, so there's this constant layer of mental chatter, which we call psychological chatter, or simply thoughts. On subtler levels, it's your beliefs about everything. You have a certain template through which you see the world and yourself. This is subtle, right? Because this is subtler than even thoughts, even the mental chatter. So this is another layer of cloud. And then at even a deeper level is your self-image, who you take yourself to be, what you know yourself to be and the world to be. These are all the clouds sort of blocking clarity. So to gain the clarity on what I want to do in this life, how I want to live, how to act harmoniously rather than creating dysfunction, how to live a life that actually brings me peace and joy and also spreads joy to others. And then second, who am I really? So for these two, we must remove and part ways with that which is not essential. All these layers and layers which are obscuring the bright blue sky, the clarity. That is what we cover on this channel. Meditation is the first that I would like to share with you. Simply by learning to sit in silence, to be by yourself, with yourself, you will see automatically the layers and layers of cloud will start to, it's like the dust settles down. And automatically, even when you just allow yourself to sit in silence, to just be with yourself, by yourself, you start to gain insights into your personal problems, your situations. Certain solutions arise, certain things that you remember that you had to do. See that this is happening because you're actually allowing yourself to no longer just constantly stimulate yourself, but just be by yourself and with yourself. I have many resources on this channel which will teach you how to meditate. I'll link it up here somewhere. So please take advantage of that. But meditation, it has to be like the place you start. If you want clarity, but yet you're running away from silence, it's almost like you're so thirsty, but running away from water. Honestly. You can say all these things about meditation doesn't work for me, or it takes too long, or it's too difficult. That itself is the noise that you're caught up in. That is the mental noise which is blocking clarity. So sit down, be with yourself, and be quiet. And clarity will automatically arise from that. Now, sitting in silence is so crucial. So that's the first step. And it's very practical. Do it multiple times per day. In the video that I linked up here, you'll see that in my meditation series, I teach you exactly what meditation is, how it works behind the surface, and how to do it, how to stay consistent with it, how many times to do it, how long to do it, what to actually practice, what is meditation, how to practice it. So go through that entire series. Now, the second step to gaining clarity is having idle moments in your day. So not necessarily meditation, but not necessarily like even closing your eyes, but see that like sometimes you're by yourself and you don't have to be doing something. The kids are taken care of, you're not at work, no one's around you. So in that moment, you don't need to be doing something. You don't need to be doing some house chores or some working out or some reading or being on the phone on social media or any type of activity. Have some idle moments of your day where you actually just sit down and just allow yourself to rest. During that time, automatically, because you're not just being consumed in activity, you'll become aware of your mental dialogue. And by becoming aware of your mental dialogue, you'll start to actually become free of it. Those idle moments of your day are very important. Not only will they be restful, but they will allow you to process the information that you're constantly stimulating yourself with, and then automatically settle the dust. Be free from the mental chatter. You'll see how this works. It's very important that you give yourself the time to be just by yourself and just not doing anything. Just sit. Lay down, if anything. Not taking a nap, but just lay down, rest, sit, be. Have some of these segments in your day where you just, allow yourself to rest. In those moments, don't even go on your phone. Now, next thing I will ask you, the next step and the last step is doing only one task at a time. So for example, again, we live in a very distracted culture. So while you're watching this video, you're probably also checking your messages or reading another article. When you're eating, you're watching TV, or you're on your phone, you're on social media, or you're working, or you're driving. Again, when you're driving, you're listening to music, or you're listening to podcasts, or you're constantly doing something, even when driving or texting, right? When you're going to the bathroom, you're literally on your phone. You're texting. You're watching videos. So learn to do one thing at a time. When you're eating, just eat. When you're going to the bathroom, just go to the bathroom. When you're watching this video, just watch this video. When you're talking with a friend, just talk with the friend. Be with the current activity of your life fully. You don't have to be so intensely present and all that. That's not what I'm asking. But just do that one thing with the exclusion of all other things. When you're working, let's say for an hour, work. Don't be checking your phone. Don't be thinking about your other problems. Don't be doing this and that. Just do that. Just do the work. And then, when you do have segments when you are just, relaxing and let's say watching TV, don't work. Or don't go on social media. When you are going on social media, don't do something else. And the big places of your day is when, usually when you're, the segments where you do have lunch or dinner, just have lunch or dinner, just eat. When you're driving, just drive. When you're walking, just walk. Stop multitasking. Your attention is being constantly scattered, and this scatteredness of attention, this constant mental chatter that it produces, and how it fragments you, this is the layer. There's no clarity to be found in this. You're just going to constantly be bouncing around from place to place. Whereas once you start to do one thing at a time, you'll start to see how the insights and the clarity that you wish for surfaces automatically. So once you implement these three things, right? Meditation, we're just sitting in silence. 2, having some idle moments of your day where you don't do anything. And then 3, doing one thing at a time. These very, very simple things, right? The mind's not that attracted to them because they're so simple, but this is what you need. Being lost in complexity is itself the layer obscuring clarity, whereas clarity is very simple. It's very natural. These 3 simple steps will take you there. It's not a matter of if they will work. They will work. Why? Because they remove the layers. They help you stop being distracted and scattered. They help you get focused. They help you uncover what is blocking clarity. They help the clouds scatter away. And you can try this out for yourself. It's not a one-day thing. Even in just one day of doing this, you'll feel so much better and you'll have so much more clarity. But you'll see the momentum of your previous ways is quite strong. So this has to become a habit. This has to be done consistently. But through it, not only will you start to discover, what do I want to do in this life? Where do I want to put my energy and focus? But also you will start to become curious about life itself. You will start to become curious about, who am I really? What is all of this? What is the source of all of this? And that will completely transform the way that you perceive everything. That will completely transform the way that you understand yourself. That is the path to become free from suffering. And that's exactly what I teach on this channel and inside of my program as well. So again, take advantage of the resources that I just shared. Follow these 3 steps. If you have ever asked me how to gain clarity, Sunny, this is it. Maybe it wasn't as flashy as you thought it would be, but this is the practical advice that I will give to you and I will give to anybody. And this is what I practice myself. This is how I've come to see what I need to do, what I care about. This is how I built Personal Mastery Quest as well. These are the principles that I live my life with as well. So if you have questions about this, you can put them in the comments below. I don't reply to everybody, but I do try to read every single comment, and I will do my best to reply. But practice this, practice consistently. And if you need help with this, if you need help with your spiritual practice to deepen your meditation and self-inquiry, please learn more about my School of Awakening as well. I'll link that down below. So that's all for this video. I hope it helped. I'll see you next time.